Have you checked the children? You're a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horse Show. I'm Robert Duell.
And you got Jaime and Fuego here, and this is not a Patreon review. This is more of a fresh and recent thing, surprisingly, that was hitting VOD and also drive-ins. As of this review, it was #1 at drive-in theaters, the only theaters that are still open for the last 2 weekends, and that's none other than The Wretched. The Wretched. The Wretched. Sorry, I'm 9 Inch Nailsing it, and you're thinking of a different song, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Awakened by Death Clock over here. Awakened.
Yeah, but The Wretched is basically kind of, it's a mix between, like, Disturbia Rear Window kind of bit, and then also, kind of like some witchly, almost also vibes, at least in the visual department, of like The Ring and the Grudge and stuff like that, especially with the movements of this particular witchly creature and stuff like that. But yeah, really more so than anything, it's about this kid who believes there is a witchly presence next door at the summer home that he's at with his father. And overall impressions, man, what did you think of this one?
I actually was very surprised at this movie. I liked it a lot. Between the acting, the story, even the effects of the creature, the backstory that we got, even the briefness of like the folklore and everything of what the creature was. I thought that was a nice little
Wikipedia or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever it was called.
Yeah, like that was a cool little nod and everything. But the cool thing was like it's based off of an actual like creature. It's called
That's what I've heard.
The Slipskin Hag. Yeah, so I actually was looking that up.
I was going to ask, did you like delve into it?
A little bit.
I saw the reference in a review or two, or at least a synopsis, but I didn't like dive deep into the mythology.
No, it was kind of neat and everything. But yeah, no, I just briefly looked at it. Overall thoughts, I would definitely watch this again. Between everything, there was even one point like I'm just going to briefly touch on like just the music, the opening scene. That song actually made me look up the artist, and it's called Wicked. Oh God, what was it called?
Consult.
Yes, Consult. Wicked Gonna Come by Blue Sorrento.
Yeah.
But the whole album for that is solid, so download that for real quick.
Yeah, because it starts out with the flashback, and then it goes into the modern day.
Yeah, but no, overall impressions, I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. I'm definitely gonna actually watch it again. I might even pick it up, maybe. Probably not, but I'll definitely at least watch it again.
Yeah, if it's like floating on a streaming service eventually somewhere, I would definitely recommend the same. I thought performances were really solid in this, especially. I like the mythology. I like the design of this kind of witch, kind of creature, somewhere in between. It was better performances from kids than I was expecting. I've seen so many stiff and silly kids, and we'll get to that in its full breadth in the acting and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, I can get into this kind of not quite Spielberg 80s-ish, but it had almost an 80s-ish vibe, even if it wasn't, taking place in this particular in that particular decade. I don't know. It had almost like kind of a Fright Night vibe to it as well. I guess that's another one that you could say. Where just the kid is, determined.
Yeah, no one believes him and everything. Everyone looks at him as crazy because he already has a troubled past with his family or his father.
And also breaking his arm or whatever it was from being dumb and trying to sell painkillers and jumping out the window and everything. And also, I thought his little friend / love interest was actually better than anticipated. I mean, just the delivery of those kids with their snippy dialogue and stuff, and it was less Spielberg and more so like somebody channeling Spielberg, like almost like a J.J. Abrams Super 8 kind of vibe.
I could see that.
In some ways, I could also give credence to as well. But yeah, I enjoyed this, man. I thought it was quite fun. So story, should I, or do you want to take it, or what do you think?
Story, basically,
pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Our main character, he's on his way to live with his father after a divorce. And he starts working with his father down at the marina, and he notices that something's not right with his next door neighbor. And then her son starts complaining that his mother's not right. And
they get like a little bond.
Yeah,
you
get a little bond there and everything like that. And in between, he's trying to convince people that something's not right with his next door neighbor. And people start missing and forgetting other people who were there. and in turn, basically, like the husband starts forgetting his child, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Friend
then
forgets a sister that goes
friend
missing.
forgets the sister.
Yeah.
Yep. And basically, once discovering that, everything we can't really go too much.
That's
into
where
that.
it's tough because there's a big twist in the third act that I actually liked. I was just okay, because there's one clue you get
When.
where where he's on the phone with his mother and she's like, "How are my boys doing?" And then when certain reveal happens in the third act, I was like, without spoiling stuff, I was like, oh, they did kind of like premeditated a little bit.
But that's basically
they give you clues.
Yeah, that's a really short and sweet of the story and everything. We can't really go too much else into that without actually telling the whole plot of the damn movie.
Yeah, exactly. And yet the kid is still dealing with his angsty stuff, like the girl at the marina that kind of likes him. He's got his eyes on another girl, and her and the other boys that she's with are picking on said dude. He has an instance of like there's your typical teen movie party sequence where he goes into the pool with this girl and she's like, take off your clothes, and it turns into kind of a trick.
You saw that one coming.
Yeah, a mile away, man. And then he barfs on the lap of the girl who actually likes him. And so, yes, you have kind of your teeny tropes, unfortunately. Some may think that they will divert the attention. Maybe they were necessary just for kids of this age and to give some sort of added gravity or gravitas or whatever the proper term is. I don't know. Maybe we could have gone without that particular scene and just kept to the friendship of him and the other girl. But
well, definitely you could see like they were aiming this towards like this like 16 to 18-year-old kind of.
Despite being an R-rated
horror
movie that does get into some gore and some nudity and stuff like that. I mean,
a little bit.
Nothing too excessive.
Yeah, they definitely were aiming this for like the younger kind of horror crowd, with still being able to keep it R, especially with some of the gore and stuff.
Yeah, which we don't have like an abundance of. I mean, acting though, but before we get into like gore and design of this said witch creature and stuff, do you think the acting was serviceable?
Acting was great, especially even the girl, the lady who played our Slipskin hag. When we finally got to see her,
she was foreboding, dude.
Dude, that makeup was super cool, and like the movements, it was really creepy. Even the characters when they were having to play something else, they all did really good.
They've kind of forgotten and they've lost themselves a little bit. And
like they played it in multiple roles very well. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I like the angstiness of our lead kid too, man. I mean, he was the one that was very much. I'm not big on the Disturbia movie with the Shia LaBeouf or whatever, but I mean, I do like. I love Fright Night. I love Rear Window, and it very much had that vibe in his paranoia. I was sold on it. I actually thought his interactions with his father too were pretty genuine. The father wasn't really being that unreasonable with this kid.
No, but the thing was, it's like he had problems, because of the divorce and everything.
Yeah, and with the new lady,
that's where the defiance came in. So
and
like he was kind of a dick.
A little bit. No.
So he had a nice little kind of redemption. I thought. Like a couple of redeeming qualities and everything, because he was very self-centered.
And there's also a little convenient thing that in the third act, without really going too much into it, there are some conveniences with making amends with that situation. But man, design and movement of the creature, I was making references to The Grudge and even like The Ring and stuff like that. Lots of those American versions of J-horror because of like the quick like stuttery movements and stuff. And I thought it was very well done and very well shot, and it was convincing, and it was in fact scary, even though I've seen this sort of thing done before.
No, definitely. It was like, especially when the scenes like we were talking about, like the movements, like when we actually do get to see it, you hear like the bones kind of crack and snap as moving. Like it was actually really cool. And
I like crawling out of the animal early in the film too.
That scene,
that was really dope.
Because this one was one like I did watch the trailer beforehand, so that scene is what really got me into it.
Same.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it was more like a Wendigo kind of thing.
Yeah. And now I'm thinking that stuff like Antlers isn't coming out till God knows how long.
I'm so disappointed.
And so that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, God, I'm looking forward to that movie.
Yeah, but the look of her was great. Her little lair in the tree and stuff was really gross, and just I don't know. There was something, as I keep coming back to, like claustrophobia is something that I'm obviously scared of, and so anytime a horror film does it just unnerves me for whatever reason. And when also The Hole in the Ground, which was a film that we reviewed last year, that also was kind of similar to this as far as like going into a underground layer of creepiness and stuff, and just that entire feeling. I don't know. It's something that always bothers me, and it just it gets me on edge, so
Oh,
to
no,
speak. But it all looked really good. The set design of that particular spot, and even the way they shot the woods and the area that they decided to make this film in. Woods are just creepy to me already anyway. And so, you know, when you add in all of these other supernatural factors that are just like either dwelling below the surface or just somewhere around in there, it's just, I don't know, it adds the creep factor for me, man.
No, most definitely. I thought the set design was cool. Even though it's like a lot of it looked like they were able to shoot on location, which was nice. So it gave it a nice authentic look. I was basically like easiest way to say it.
Yeah, I can't really give any instance where I thought they were on sound stages necessarily.
No.
I mean, because you're on the marina, you're in the woods, you're inside the house, and all those houses we have exteriors, so I don't necessarily think they built.
Yeah, like the set and everything, like it was pretty standard, but everything looked very nice. And the biggest thing I think would be more on like how they shot it and everything, the cinematography and what they were able to work with, especially during like the wood scenes and like you're saying like during the tunnels when we get in the third act, things like that. Hell, even some like in the beginning when you start seeing and hearing those voices coming from that tree with the little boy.
Oh, dude, even the stuff in the basement in the very first scene of the film was like very
that was
creep-tastic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly wasn't really expecting that one because you really hear the bone crunch.
Yeah, after the door is slammed and stuff, or actually no, when they first walk up. And see
when
she's
sitting on the chair and everything with the kid eating her.
Yeah, when the babysitter or whatever.
Don't worry, it's in the trailer.
Makes the first discovery. Yes, we're not spoiling stuff. We have definitely danced around certain things here, but
overall, for overall and everything. Definitely watch this movie.
Yeah, I dug the hell out of it, man.
Real quick, do you want to jump into the effects and gore for what we had?
For what we had, there's not an immense abundance of it. You know, it's like more so for me was just the captivating aspect of the movements and the look of the creature itself. There's not really a lot of gory kills, you know, per se. I mean,
it's a lot of off cameras.
Lots of off camera stuff. Yeah.
But for what we do get, especially
we get some interesting transformation stuff, like jumping between bodies as we kind of get later.
Yeah, the skin shifting. I'll basically just say like those shedding scenes were nuts.
Those were
those
were formidable.
Those were pretty gross and everything. But even just like I would just say the design of the creature, the slipskin hag, the detail for what you got even on the small shots were really nice. Yeah. You can see that they actually took time on doing like the details with the face, like the pores and the pimples, the boils. Like it was cool.
Yeah, it was definitely solid in that regard, man. I can't say anything more than I already have in that. So yeah, I mean, as far as score, nothing. Yeah.
Nothing, honestly. There wasn't really
sound
much.
Design. I mean, the cracking of the bones and everything, which we've already kind of covered, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, for sound design and that, but really for score, it wasn't really much. But your standard run of the mill kind of horror stones outside of the opening scene credits.
Yeah.
So.
Which you already gave the shout out to. So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, everybody. Well, so it's not on proper home release yet, as far as like you can't go to a Redbox and rent like a DVD or a Blu-ray or anything of that nature, but it is VODable, and if you want to venture out into the world, since most theaters are still closed for the foreseeable future, you can go to a drive-in if you have one of those somewhere in your vicinity. I know there's at least 2 here in the deadly desert of Arizona, and I thought about going to see this, but I was like, I'm going to stay in the safer confines of my home, even if, I don't know, I'm still kind of getting over everything that's transpired, and even if I'm going to be stuck in a vehicle, that just, I don't know, just even driving around. But in any event,
just go on YouTube.
Yeah.
Rent it from there.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube, Prime, Vudu. It's on all of your, primary spots for any sort of video on demandness. But, gracias, everybody. We greatly appreciate your, taking the time to check this out. If you would like to actually tell us what to check out and dictate what we should review, down in the information below in the description, we have a link to the Horror Show Channel Patreon. That's where we've got, you can request films for us to review. If you want to jump a little bit higher and give us a film you would like us to do a full-on commentary for, that's also an option. And then we get a boogie box, which is, yes, it's a curated package that we send out monthly to the higher tiered peeps that want to be very supportive, and it's got just, all kinds of different swag and, DVDs and different things from the different horror peeps that over the many years of us doing this, we have made connections with here in the community. So
lots of creepy goods.
exactly, you will definitely be satisfied. So gracias everybody once more. I've been Jaime and Fuego.
I've been Robert Duell.
And remember, until next time, Fright fans, to stay
Scared.
Waha.